world's gone crazy. No ifs, and buts, or maybe. The world's gone crazy.
This world's gone crazy. No ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. This world's gone crazy. If you don't believe me, then relieve me of these beliefs whereby you receive me for understanding to perceive me. For beginners, you got a sharp tongue. That's really a dog one.
Apostle Deen speaking to you on location from Newark, New Jersey, right here in the heart of the ghetto where I grew up at. Don't look like a ghetto no more for the new housing and what have you that's going on. But I picked this location to start this particular show off as because it's a favorite spot of mine. And the reason it's a favorite spot of mine is because I grew up right here, you know, and the spirit, even though the projects is gone, the spirit is still the same. You can feel the spirit, you know, the spirit is a spiritual thing, you know. And I played many days up there, that 4th precinct, you know, you can show them that, right? I played many days up there as a member of the Police Athletic League as I was a child growing up. But one of the things I want to point out is that this here street you should go through should be a parking lot right here. This is Livingston Street and 17th Avenue. It used to be a parking lot that went right through here between the projects 7 and 9, 17th Avenue, and 84 and 88 Boy Street. And right here, this tree, this is a historical tree to me. I used to climb this tree when I was a kid. You know, we had a lot of fun in this tree, and we used to play tops and marbles, and we used to pitch coins, you know, right here. And there used to be a large garbage can right next to this pole, right? And some heavy things happen here. You know, if you look right there, you see the fire hydrant? That fire hydrant been there for over 50-something years. That was right at the corner, you know? And so, you know, let's get this show on the road. This is one of my partners, my man, Dawood. You know, he helping me out with the show today. You know, I just wanted to bring him up here and, you know, like tell him some things about, you know, like what happened. Back in 1967, in the summer of 1967, I was one of the first eyewitnesses to the 1967 riots. I was standing right here with a friend of mine, and I was about 14 years old, and still, I thought I was a man, but still doing little kid things. We was out here pitching pennies and shooting tops and what have you. And there was used to be like a brick wall right up here where these houses are. And I was like right about here. And the garbage can was right over there, like where you by the pole near where you stand, yeah. Right? And one of my boys was up on the roof, on the tree. His name was Jerome Baxter. He's no longer with us. You know, he's deceased. But he was a very close friend of mine. And then they came up with this cab driver. Some cops came with cab drivers and snatched them out of their car because they had arrested him already. He didn't come up in a cab. He came up in a police car. And we stand here, we watching him. And they took him right inside the precinct. And we could see they was kind of like angry with him. And like in less than 5 minutes, they brought him back out. And he was all messed up, man. His hair was all wild. And looked like he had got smacked around, beat up. And they brought him right over here by us. And dropped him head first right into the garbage can. Boom. And back in the day, them garbage cans they used to have on these corners was real big. You can fit a grown man inside a can like that. And they dropped him in and he couldn't get out, but he was all hurt up. So, of course, we was kind of concerned about the police. We was afraid of them, you know, because back in the day, man, the cops was the thugs. You know, you walk up and down the street, boy, and you see a cop, man, you be like, you don't know whether to run or what, even regardless of what you was doing, because they would get you, man. They project cops would get you, some of them, and the regular, you know, squad car cops, they'd get you, man, and hurt you up, right? So we waited till they went back into the precinct. It was about 4 of them, man. They had carried them and just dumped them hard, man. So when they went back in the door, we went and we pulled a can over and let them out. And as we let them out and everything, you know, 'cause we never seen them before, some cabs came around the corner and they picked him up. You know, he got in the car. You know, they walked him over there. Next thing I know, within a half an hour, man, there was a whole line of cabs, like right up here on 17th Avenue, man, right in front of the precinct, you know. And me and Jerome, we walked up to the corner, man, to Harry Liquors. It was right there because it wasn't a street up there. Show them up there how that street is. They got a street there where the light is, and it wasn't a street. They just made that street when they built those apartments not long ago, those houses. And we went up there to Harry Liquors, and I ran into this guy named, one of my partners named Dennis Barnett. And we were standing up there, and people was crowding around. They asked what happened. I said, you know, I was all excited. I said, they tried to kill a cab driver. He said, I said, they killed a cab driver. And people started throwing rocks through the windows and what have you. But I said, they tried to kill a cab driver. And, man, the riot, boom, it started. That was it, man. And, boy, that was one of the most terrifying times of my life, you know. You see that pole right there? That pole, I believe, saved my life, man, because it was the last day of the riot. And I was walking down. I didn't know the curfew was like at 6 o'clock. They had changed the curfew. And I went to see Jerome. He lived across town on Clinton Avenue and Turner Boulevard. And it was about 6 o'clock, man, and some guys was telling me I better get off the street, you know. They kept telling me to run. It was like 5 white cops, man, state troopers and regular Newark police. They're telling me to run. And, you know, they was calling me nigga. Run, nigga, run. Run, nigga, run. And I was like, thought about what my oldest brother said. If a cop tell you to run, walk. If he tell you to walk, run. Man, did that help me that day, because I backed up, man. I knew every crack and crevice on that street and that building, because I played there all the years as I was growing up as a child. And I got right before I got to the corner, I turned and boom, ran. They came shooting, man. And my mother and everybody witnessed them trying to hunt me down, you know. And it almost sent my mother into a heart attack, man. You know, and so it was at that point in time in my life that I decided that when I grow up, I was going to become a cop and try to help the people, man, and not try to hurt them, but try to help them, you know. And so this just a little part of my life history, you know. But what you think, man?
That's great. I never heard of a 6 o'clock curfew ever before.
Yeah. It was pretty tough, man. You know, the thing about it is that, you know, the Jews talk about the Holocaust, you know, and I think the Holocaust lasted about 5 years. And they talk about that, man, like it lasted, you know, like 1,000 years, man. And anytime black folks talk about, you know, like slavery and stuff, which lasted 500 years or so, and still going on today, because in the mines, we're still slaves, man. But it's like they act like we're talking racism, you know, prejudices, talking hatred, and it's not like that, you know. I have a concern because whenever we talk about trying to do something for our people, then it's wrong. It's like you're racist, or, you know. But if you talk about trying to help all the people, then it's all right. But the Caucasians and other people, they can have their clubs, they can have their private clubs, they can have their situations where they only help their people, you know, and it's all right, you know. And our politicians, man, they get into the game of politics, you know, and then it's like as soon as they get up and they start rising, they realize, hey, I'm in a fixed situation that's under the Constitution of the United States of America that was written, you know, hundreds of years ago, not for us, but for the people that's in the establishment of power that we live under. So now that they are allowing us to come up under there, allowing us to vote and allowing us to come up into those jobs, we still can't change what's going on with their structure. You know, and their structure was not meant for us. If you read the Constitution, it was not meant for us, it was meant for them. But here we go. You know, so I say, I don't ever want to forget this history of Newark, you know, where I grew up at. I don't ever want to forget the fact of the matter that I witnessed this riot at its inception when it started. You know, I almost got killed in this riot. You know, purposely chased and shot at by police officers. And I'm one of those that people didn't know about. Only, you know, certain people, but it wasn't publicized like in the media or anything like that there. You know, and I don't want to forget this building. You know, the 4th precinct, because it brought some good to me, and I seen some bad come out of there. But you know, it was a solid foundation for this community that helped, you know, just by being there. And I don't want to forget that. Now, in my opinion, you know, they like trying to erase all the signs of the riot, you know, and write down the proposal to tear down this building, I believe, you know, and I think that you can actually do something. You can actually do something good with it, where you don't have to tear it down. You know? What's up? Untitled. Untitled caller. Yeah, who you got with you?
I got USA number 1 deal with me.
Alright, that's cool.
Alright.
That's
You
cool.
about to pull up, we come out.
Alright. Yeah, Untitled. You must have been looking for me, you know. But yeah, you know, this is like home, you know. I moved out of Newark quite a few times, man, and I always move back, you know. And because it's home, you know. These my people, you know. You know, like, I try to keep it real, you know. You got guys around here, they don't want to believe that I'm a messenger of Allah, because I'm a human being living in this day and time. Just like I got on shades and I got on sneakers and, you know, I'm roughing it. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody else, you know. And they're like, hey, you know, you can't be. Well, I am, you know. But I have an affection, you know, for people, like all people, man. It ain't no thing where, you know, like what the message I bring is just for black folks, but I'm trying to get this message to the black folks, to Hispanics, to brothers like my cameraman here, the Filipinos, and all other people. What up?
How you speaking about the president? Hey, let you know. Show right now. I'm gonna have to call you back. Oh, you got a phone call? Yeah, all right. You down there?
Yeah.
We heard y'all was gonna be out here. I ain't know y'all was gonna be taping though, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I ain't wanna fuss this up.
No, it's cool. It's cool, man. You know, I brought Brother Dawu up here with me. You know.
Yeah. Had to make sure you was alright out here. You know, out here.
Got my man with me, you know. Bust somebody down if you have to.
That's what's up. Yeah, I used to keep another blessing.
Man, I used to keep the blessing reason about the present. I used to keep the blessing reason about the present. We heard y'all was gonna be out here.
Yeah, what's this, Urbanversity?
Yeah, Urbanversity.
Okay.
I had Urbanversity, man. You know, my new show. You know, I'm just trying to do it on location. You know, try to make it a little different from what we got going on with I Had Moment, of course. You know, like what we did last week. Yeah, I was just talking about, you know, the riots. You know, riots started right here, man. Right where you standing at. And I'm wondering, since I'm revealing that, if they're going to cut this tree down like they didn't cut down the project. They can cut down everything they can to make you forget about that, you know? But, yeah, this is the deal, man. You know, I remember Belmont Avenue, you know, and how everything was, but, you know, Allah is real, you know, and these projects, you know, Allah has given me something in regards to Revelation, you know, the book of Revelation. And there were certain things in that was talking about, you know, like these projects. My mother and us growing up in here, and when they talked about the times when she was hid, you know, by the land, things like that there, you know, it's some deep stuff. But, you know, like I was just telling Brother Dawu, you know, I'm out.
You said a Revelation?
In the book of Revelation, yeah, the Bible. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, what I was telling him is that, like, people don't want to recognize me as Allah's messenger. They don't understand that we the same as the people was back in the day of Moses and Jesus. And they were just people, man. They weren't people with wings on and, you know, things like that there. You know, they were people, normal people, and just like us today. And you know, like of course you got the Muslims saying Allah ain't gonna be speaking to man no more, which is crazy. And Muhammad was the last. But you know, my whole thing is that Allah has come down for us on this level. And it's my duty to bring its words out on this level to the people, which is all common. You know, I ain't trying to fancify no words, I ain't trying to fancify no act, you know. It's just that, you know, Allah filled me up, you know, and you know, like when we get to working in our operations and what have you, you know, how we be doing, you know, and we get expressing different things, you know. And the people need to know that this is all real, that Allah is real, Allah is unseen, and it comes in the name of our Eid today, it's coming in the new covenant, they need to know that we're just people, you know, but the Lord has chosen us, you know, and we need to take advantage of that and stop trying to live this impossible dream, trying to become the Caucasians, you know, trying to become, you know, the powers, the leaders in a world that's condemned by the Lord Most High. Because this world is condemned. You think about all the things that's going on.
Yeah, we just talking about
You
that.
just talking about that, how when I go to work and I go sit in the break room and for CNN video, and people don't even pay attention to the news like that. The whole earth is being burnt up, burnt down. Midwest flooding and it's being burnt at the same time.
Like all these different things going on, like hurricanes down to the. Like for us, we ain't really getting it. We not getting it firsthand, but you know what I'm saying, like just how it's just tearing the at, man.
Oh, we
so
suffer. We suffer here because I know that I suffer by allergies, and I can see the trees. Look at this tree. It look like it's sick like that, you know. And you know.
But how many people will really take the time?
You know, I had a thought this morning, and that thought was, how many people really believe in Allah the Unseen, being present right here before us, and it's engulfing us, it's permeating us, its mind is here, its presence is here, and how many people will bow down on their knees and also relate to the trees and other vegetation, man, to know that it is relating to these things, and that through these things in the insect world, the animal world, you know, the elements, it's destroying. It's just like it said in the book of Revelation, at the four corners of the earth, the angels at the four corners of the earth, where it told me that wasn't the true translation. It's in the four elements of the earth that it was the angels was going to destroy me.
That reminds me of the track that we laid down some years ago, Revelation. Entertainment, healthy attractions, and plain distractions. They put these type of things what you was just talking about as far as man being able to relate in these different ways and turning into a joke. So people could be entertained with that distraction, not really being in tune with the natural order of things. You know what I'm saying? And to actually take the time to appreciate what Allah is giving us to relate to naturally on earth. We'll rather run to some illusion. You know what I mean?
And like me and you had a conversation before. You were saying that the times is so hard and that it's getting so bad that soon the way people performing and stuff, even with the entertainment, I was like, soon they gonna even have the devil himself performing. And sure enough, right after that, in the movie Tenacious D, the devil was performing.
And it's a joke, but that's
it's made the same as a joke, but it's real.
One of the teachers that has came to Holy-Apostle is that whenever you act, that's an act of life. Like you know what I'm saying? You can't go to the throne and say, oh, I was just acting. Life is an act. You know what I'm saying? So you was the devil on stage. You performed as Satan. Right. Regardless of who you performed for or what was your purpose.
Yeah, they don't understand. You know, they don't understand the fact of the matter. Just like, you know, I was disappointed with Denzel Washington. You know, that was my man. I said, boy, this brother here, boy, he could perform a show all by himself. He's just that good. You know what I mean? And I remember I went to an on-stage performance of a guy down in New Brunswick some years ago, you know, off Broadway. And it was like one or two people on the whole show, and they performed. They did an excellent show, you know. And that's the way I look at Denzel. He's just that good, you know. And he took the bite, man. He did that bad movie Training Day. And then they gave him, what they gave him? Oscar for it. Why they gave him an Oscar for that? Because he did something to mislead the black children. You know? And I'm like, do Denzel realize what he did?
Yeah, because the whole time I was looking at the movie, I was in denial, like, yo, is he really the bad guy?
Yeah, do he realize what he did, right? Because he had all these children, millions of people in love with him. And then they gave him that bad role. Now, he might say, well, I was just acting. But Allah knows, Ahezaah knows how many people he led astray with that acting. And then, since then, he has done other bad roles. You understand? And so, that's go back to what I was telling y'all a long time ago about how Jim Brown and Fred Williamson and all them boys,
and as a child, you can't really see it.
And what have how they are the ones who started this mayhem. And these boys having guns, trying to kill police officers and the authorities, and you can't beat them. You can't get out there and kill up them. You understand? Because this establishment, we can't destroy. The Lord is going to destroy it. We can't do nothing with this here. But they got them boys thinking that they can get behind a 6-shooter or now an 8-shooter or a 12-shooter or a 32-shooter or whatever
take out the world.
You know, and now, you know, they super flying on down, New Jack City on down, you know, and look at this thing, you know, I get mad when I talk about this here. You know, you got my boy Wesley Snipes, I used to be a Muslim. Now he walk around gay. You understand?
I remember a long time ago.
And the thing about this whole thought, the thing about it was he played a tough role and everything, but we know what's happening with him because you can see his eyes bucking. His eyes bucking now. So what's making his eyes buck now? Something must be happening, you know, behind him. You understand what I'm saying? But they get everybody in Hollywood, most of all of them in Hollywood like that, you know. Now my whole thing is that like you know, I just want to apologize to some of the homosexuals, you know, because I be down on the homosexuality and everything. But I apologize that you might, you know, think ill of me for mentioning that thing. But I just want to say that the laws of the Lord don't change. I don't care how you feel about it. You know, we've been told not to do a whole lot of negative things, ill things, and you know, I wouldn't go out and hang with a junkie. I wouldn't go out and hang out with a wino, stinking wino who's just laying the gutter. You know what I mean? And I talk against that. So it's the same thing as someone going against the Lord in any other kind of way. The book says men don't live with men, and women don't live with women. It even said in the Holy Quran. You know, don't dress up like men. If women don't dress up like men, and you know, stand your places and so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that it really is, you know, it ain't so much so heavy as an apology or thing saying like I'm wrong, because I ain't wrong. I'm not wrong. But speaking against it because that's the whole deal. I speak against it because the Lord is against it, you know. But you know, this guy here, what he gonna do next? Lead them into homosexuality, greater homosexuality? What would teacher Cameron, man, talk about he's coming out of the closet? Man, the closet coming out of them. Because they too big for the closet. The closet coming out of them. You know what I'm saying? You know, but for the love of money, they break themselves, connect with their souls, and do whatever it takes to make that money have that thing. You know what I mean? Hey, and no matter if they lived 1,000 years, man, they still got to go to the throne. You know? But I want to go down here. I want to show y'all where Gabriel came to me when I was a child of 7 years old. Alright?
Alright, well, how you want to do it? You want to walk or you want to get
a ride? Let's get you a ride. You want to,
just
check down. Yeah. You can cut that down and then we start up when we get to the other places. Give us a moment, people. Yeah, so here we go, you know. Make it right here. Yeah.
Bring us right on the living station.
But you know, Allah is merciful, man. You know, Allah is merciful. You know, as I was saying, I had moved out of Newark, but I have an affection for Newark that's real deep, man. Allah just put that up in me. You know, I remember all the houses and the garages that was up and down the street, man, the stores, you know, and always was infiltrated with a lot of rats and what have you. And that's about the only thing that's changed up here for the good. I think, you know, with them doing that, of course, you know, the houses needed to be changed and dilapidated, but, you know, make a right here, brother. They're doing a lot of construction down here for the Central High School now.
Oh, that's cool. What was it?
General Electric, electric company was there. You know, make a right hand park. Make a right hand park. You see where you parking right behind this car right here? That's where Gabriel was standing when he came to me and my brother when I was about 7 years old. Right here. You know, let's get out. And that is?
Yeah, like the overhead.
Yeah, the overhead they got built. Yeah. That's where I was standing. Right?
Yeah.
And when he was talking to my brother right here, check this
Where
out.
was you standing? Because I just got
See that little construction they built down there?
Uh-huh.
That's where I was standing. As a matter of fact, I was standing at first. I was just, you know, shooting some tops and stuff. Because I used to love to shoot tops, you know. I'm making little game and stuff. And he was standing like right by this sign. See this sign right here? Right by this. Yeah, the first sign, because it was like, that was like the end of a store or something right there. Anyway, he was whispering, and I could hear him just as clear as though he was whispering in my ears, you know, and he told me, he was telling my brother things about me, you know. But I think about Central High School, how, you know, back in the day, things was really tough, man, how NJIT wanted to get Central out of there. You know, and they wanted to take that area a long time for the college, university areas and stuff, you know. And now they got it up there. I wish the children well, but I think back to all the stipulations that's involved with the school settings, and now that we're in a new day and time, here it is all of a sudden it don't matter where you live at, you know, what school district you live in, you could be bussed out of another city to come to Newark. Now, who is that for? Is that for them black children? No. Because what black children they gonna bust out of, you know, West Orange or whatever, you know, to send them to school here, you know? Just like, you know, they're getting them involved in all the institutions, like the hospitals and different institutions, man, science and what have you. Is that for black kids? If they got rid of over 200-some-odd-thousand blacks, and they still getting rid of them, you know, and they still tearing these whole houses down where they live at, and they getting them Section 8 and move them out, and you know, and they have to have certain types of qualifications to move into these other houses. They getting rid of them. So what are they setting up for? Now, our people, you know, who look at this and say, oh, we're doing good, we're doing better. Well, as long as you got a job, you might feel like we're doing better.
Job and a place to stay in the city.
You know, and you ignoring what's going down. But on the real side, the diabolical war, the genocidal war that's against our people is heavy here in Newark. And it's here on a high level. How come all of a sudden everybody want to, you know, like Newark is an international city, and people from all over want to come here. Yesterday, they was at this affair down in Lincoln Park. People from Italy was there.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, I ain't know about that.
And they talking about buying the book that I have, or purchasing the book that I put out.
Wow.
You know, Caucasians and Orthodox Jews and doctors, and they all talking about getting this book.
Ain't that so?
Huh? Now, go ahead.
No, we can't even get our people to purchase a raffle ticket.
Yeah, well, you know, our people is like, here we go behind that 8-ball thing.
Yeah.
You know, they don't want to succeed because they want handouts for the most part. And what we're trying to do is educate on a real level of education. See, they want us to think that everybody is meant to be an A student in school, and if you're not an A student in school in the book, then you're a failure in life, and they castigate you and put you aside. Everybody's not meant to go to school.
If you don't believe me, then relieve me of these beliefs whereby you receive me for understanding to perceive me. For beginners, you got a sharp tongue that's really a dull one. Leading black people